Hello everyone, so I'm here today to do a tag. This is a tag I was not tagged in, but I wanted to do it anyway because I think it's a really fun tag, and it's the International Booktuber tag. And it was originally created by Only for a Page. I will leave a link to her channel and her original tag below. And basically there are questions about how it is to be international in this community, and by international she meant I believe outside of the US and the UK, so mostly non-English speaking countries, but also I guess other English speaking countries that were colonized, and that's why they speak English. Anyway, the first question is, where are you from and what is your native language or languages? So I'm from Spain and my native language is Spanish. My mom is Basque, so I know a total of maybe 20 words in Basque, but my native language is just Spanish. The second question is, in which languages do you read books? So I mostly read in English, but I also sometimes read in Spanish. I also sometimes read in French, and I sometimes read in Dutch. Those are my 4 languages that I read on, but I would say it's the likelihood of me reading and enjoying a book. It's English, Spanish, French, Dutch, even though I live in the Netherlands, so probably I do read more Dutch books than French books. My French reading comprehension is still a bit higher. The third question is there Booktube in your native language, and if so, what is the community like? I can imagine there is Spanish speaking Booktube. I have not found it or tried to find it because, as I said, I read mostly in English, but there must be. Spanish is a very big language, so I can imagine there is. I don't know how the community is like though. The fourth question is, if there is a Booktube community in your native language, why did you decide to join the international one? And as I said, there probably is, but I have not searched for it because I read mostly in English. I also do not live in Spain, so for me getting hold of books in Spanish is a lot harder than for me getting hold of books in English or in Dutch. So I think that because my life is a very international environment in itself, because I live in a country I'm not from, because I speak several languages on a daily basis, I think it just felt natural for me to be part of an international community and review books in English, which is what I mostly read. The fifth question is, are there any struggles or challenges for you as a non-native English speaker? And yes, of course there are. Sometimes when I watch back my videos or when I'm editing, I'm thinking, why did you make that sentence that way, right? Because English is not my native language, and even though it's probably the language that I use the most on a daily basis at this point in my life, and I feel quite comfortable with it, I do still make mistakes, and I am very conscious of that. I'm also very conscious of my accent when I edit videos, but it's not something I can really change, so it's something that I'm learning to accept. But yeah, and also, I mean, sometimes reading books in other languages can be a little bit harder just because the comprehension is not completely native. I think that English is pretty good for me at this point, but I do definitely feel it when I read in French or in Dutch, that my comprehension is a lot lower and I struggle a lot more with the book, and I'm not able to appreciate the lyricism of the works as much. So yeah, there are challenges. I think for me the hardest is to see myself speaking English when I edit, but so far I don't think anybody has complained of my English, so I hope it's okay. The sixth question is, how do you get hold of English books? And I have to say that my library is pretty good at this. I live in a city that is very international within the Netherlands. I think actually, according to Wikipedia, like 56% of the people living here are not Dutch. So there is a lot of international community, and the library is very aware of that, and the bookstores are very well aware of that. So there is quite some availability of English books in my library, and also there is 2 bookstores that specialize in English or non-Dutch books. One of them also has books in other languages. Well, I think both of them, but yeah, especially one of them. So yeah, it's fairly easy. I mean, of course, we have the internet, so if I could not find anything in the bookstore or the library, I can always order from Blackwell's. But I'm pretty happy with the selection that I can immediately access. Also, the Netherlands has this amazing system in which all libraries are connected. So you actually, with your library card, you can go to any other library, and you might have to do a little bit of paperwork, but you can translate your card to any library in the Netherlands. So, and it's the same for the audiobook system. It's all combined. So that is great. And then another source of books that I do have, my mom has a Spanish library card that I can use to borrow ebooks from the Spanish library system. So those ones, that's the way how I get most of my Spanish books. And I'm so grateful for libraries and the effort they make to make books available on all these different languages. I'm really, really happy for that to be a thing. The 7th question is, what is the best thing about being part of the international community? And it says that you can answer in your native language, so I'm going to answer in Spanish here. This is going to be so weird, but yeah. Lo mejor de ser parte de la comunidad internacional es simplemente conocer gente de todas partes, y gente que lee un montón de cosas de partes diferentes del mundo. Personalmente, a mí me gusta sobre todo que la gente que no lee solo libros en inglés o libros en español, o que se centre en un lugar nada más. A mí me gusta leer internacionalmente. Me gusta leer libros japoneses, libros africanos, libros de Asia en general, libros australianos, libros irlandeses, libros de Sudamérica. Y la comunidad internacional es tan grande que puedes encontrar gente de todas estas partes del mundo que te den recomendaciones y que te abran los horizontes de tu lectura. Yo creo que eso es una de las cosas más importantes para mí de la comunidad internacional. So yeah, with that interlude, the 8th question is, do you watch other international booktube channels? Yes, I do. As I said in Spanish, I think that's one of my favorite things. I think that it will be very boring if we all read British and Irish and American books only. And I actually am very conscious of the fact that I think I read too many of those books. That's a big part of my reading, and I would like to change that. I already read a lot from other places, but I do still read quite a lot of books that are from those countries. So I would like to change that more and more as I go. But yeah, I do watch other international booktubers that I really love. One I found recently is Marita Reeds, who is a Kenyan booktuber, and that's very special for me because I have a very special place in my heart for Kenya. So if you have not checked her out, I mean, she has more subscribers than I do, but you can still go check her out. I'll leave her down below. And yeah, the 9th question is tag your fellow international booktubers. So for this, I'm going to, of course, tag Reading with Macard, Lauren, because she's my buddy. I'm also going to tag A Time to Share Books, because she's from South Africa, and she always has such thoughtful reviews on books. And I just love the way she talks as well. She's so calming. And I would love to know her answers to this question as well. So yeah, that is it for this tag. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you're also an international booktuber. I can go check you out. And if you are not, what do you think about us international booktubers that come here with our weird accents to speak about books that we don't always fully understand because they are in a language that is not our native language. So yeah, that was all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.